All right. Hail, hail, the gang's all here.
We did it. All right.
We did it. We did it. Persistence pays. Okay. Good. So let's start off with questions, things about what we covered last week. And then I have some stuff that I wanted to have us go over in regards to the webinar.
Okay.
Which is the next step. So here, I'll bring up the screen of the stuff we've done so far. Kind of work backwards from last week to the week before. Okay, so last week we made some really good progress on the design of the code of healthy weight management, title for now. What we would include as assessment pieces that make this truly unique and comprehensive. The next.
And just to coordinate with Christina, you were going to send me some stuff on some of these tests, and I don't know if you forgot or if I didn't see them or what.
On the genetics test, wasn't I? Yeah. I will resend.
Okay.
If you didn't get it, I'm sorry.
That and the visual contrast sensitivity test I was interested in, and your like symptom questionnaire that you currently use.
Yep. Okay. Make a list.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I will, I'll send you a copy of my results from my 2 tests going through Life Forces lab. And a link so you can take a look at some of the products that they recommend so far. But I think the test, you'll see their comprehensive test, their questionnaire. And then, you know, you could include that in with what you're doing with the ones that you're familiar with.
Yeah, I've read Tony Robbins' book. I haven't done any of his testing or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so I followed through and have done 2 rounds of their testing. Started taking some of their supplements. I've contracted with a nutritionist that's a good friend, and we are attacking the areas of concern in my tests, because she's a specialist in metabolic weight loss, but especially focusing on insulin resistant people, which I am, creeping A1C, and different areas like that. So she's made some changes to my eating habits, my diet, so I can share some of that stuff with you too.
Okay.
So, I think we have a good start on what's making this program unique. Step 1 is the unique comprehensive assessment testing to show that this is not a cookie cutter approach. Everybody is a unique individual. And if we treat them that way, they will get better results. So that's the step 1 we had discussed, and you can continue to fine tune that together. Once we have that in place, then step 2 is the educational portion, which is what they're going to be, after they've done the assessment, then they're going to sign up for one of the 3 programs. And I sent you a copy of the whiteboard. We can start with this, and then you can, we can continue to update that change it. But I think we have in place a good foundation of what the program is. Now we need to start looking at content of the educational piece. And that's two things. It's number one is the education pieces of the webinar and then the educational pieces of the course. And I thought you might benefit if I showed you an actual course that I've been developing with, she's a retired pediatric physician and a pediatric behaviorist. And she's also kind of a world-renowned artist, quite a talented young lady. But I want to show you what we have put together so you can get an idea of the possibilities, the progression, right? We'll do an interview on my show for two reasons. One, get the video. Two, get you some practice just talking a little bit for a half an hour about some of the challenges and problems, but we don't give away all the candy, right? What we do is there'll be people, in my universe, there'll be people out in my several thousand Facebook community, yours, my LinkedIn community. They will have an opportunity to attend this. It'll be a small group. They'll attend this. We'll have the footage, and then we'll use that as the intro footage for your funnel. The funnel will be for your webinar. The webinar will be where we have scripted, the next version of what you did. Your weight loss webinar that you did is a great webinar, but we're gonna evolve it to be talking about the code and talking about the components and talking about the story, the teach, the tool, the call to action, what they're going to get, all of that stuff. So it's sort of webinar infomercial kind of a hybrid. That's our goal for our next product that we create together will be that from the interview, and then we'll have a ton of footage to be able to use for social media marketing of the webinar. And we'll also use some of that in the creation of the course, but we're going to be working together to create video that is taking them step by step to evolve the way you want them to. So I wanted you to see visually the pieces. How does that so far?
I think it's perfect. I have a friend that does this, makes millions and millions and millions, and that's exactly what she does. She'll take a product and develop it, and then she'll spin it off into another product and use pieces of that product to promote this product, and it's just an ever evolving web of products. And then somebody will ask her a question about something and she'll say, that's a good idea, that will be my next course. And
Exactly.
And it's her lifestyle now. She just does courses. I get to attend most of her stuff for free because I work with her some, but she's doing a course the second weekend of June. It's like $14.97 to attend for 3 days, and she'll have several hundred people on there. She usually cranks in minimally 500 to $1 million for a weekend,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
500,000 to $1 million.
Yeah.
So
now it didn't happen overnight. She built a following, she built a reputation, and she started putting products out there and built a customer base. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So Code of Healthy Weight in Management is your first product, but it's just the beginning of an entire enterprise under the 5 pillars, umbrella.
yes.
And each time you do something, it builds on the momentum of the previous thing.
So yeah, I've witnessed how it can go firsthand. Because
Good.
she was a practicing chiropractor just like myself, and decided she wanted to start teaching courses, and then COVID hit and she realized, well, I can do this virtually, and she hasn't switched back.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And there's literally billions. There's billions of people out there who need what you have to offer. There's certainly millions just in the United States, Canada, and the English-speaking countries of the world. So you have a big market, and weight loss is one of the top markets. There's weight loss, right? Relationships, finances, and then people are looking for finances covers not only starting a business and running a business, but also investment and all of that stuff. But weight loss is in the top 3 of all of the courses that are out there. But you have a unique approach to it that we really want to develop. And to do that, we're going to need to continue to identify questions that portray how it is that you're unique. I was just noodling in between when we hung up and when we came back online. And let me just show you what I was just coming up with here, because these are good questions about the webinar. Okay, so one of the things we want to be doing, kind of parallel to developing what is the program that we're going to be selling, is the webinar, because the webinar is a product and that's your choice. You can use the webinar as a product to sell, or you can use the webinar as a lead generation event that's free, or you can do both with a lead magnet, where we can create the webinar, and we run it live, we record it, we can take excerpts of the audio, run it through Otter AI, and have it translated all into text, and edit that down with some graphics to a downloadable lead magnet, and also as a bonus give something else. But here's some notes on the webinar, and I'll actually copy this and put it in the chat as well. So what I wanted to just kind of plant the seeds for today is having clarity about these components of the message of the webinar. Webinars follow a natural, and you did very well with your webinar, following sort of the natural blueprint of a webinar, and that is story, teach, tool, call to action. In the beginning, we introduce yourselves, we introduce your background, your accomplishments, so they get to know who you are first and why they should even be listening to you. You've got a track record, and then what your goals are for the webinar. Then the story, we want to hit them with what's the true extent of the problem, and you tell the story of what you've encountered in your practice with your patients, and the heartbreak and the frustration that your patients have encountered with trying the yo-yo diets and the typical increase exercise, decrease calories, all of that stuff, right? So that they will see themselves inside of your webinar and say, yeah. It's also going to be clips of that in social media to say, yeah, that's me. he's talking about me, she's talking about me. And so that's the first thing, is we need for them to see themselves inside, right, of the promo and inside of the funnel and inside of the webinar itself. So we want to take a look at what's the true extent of the problem. We talked a little bit about that 2 meetings ago. The millions of people, the billions of dollars being spent on weight loss, and what's been the millions that are wasted without getting permanent results. We want to continue to talk about how is this manifesting in not only adults but children. Okay, that's a very important hot button. People will do things for their kids that they're not willing to do for themselves. Just like
Oops. Are you there, Michael? You muted yourself.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you, but you had muted yourself.
Yeah. The internet cut out and it just reestablished itself.
Oh, okay.
So I was saying, in working with veterinarians, clients will spend thousands and thousands of dollars for their pet health and not spend it on themselves, right? So we want to use that psychology of, you're not the type of person spending that on yourself, then get this course to work with your children. Your children are obese or heading down the track. If you're obese or you're having struggles managing healthy weight, the 90% chance your children are as well. If they are following the same habits that you are modeling. So we want to drive that in. What are the serious side effects of that? And this is quick because a lot of people know this stuff, but you want to just kind of raise that to the top of their awareness that this is serious stuff. And a Jane Fonda video and a shake is not going to solve the problem. I tell the joke, when I was trying, the first time I tried to lose weight, my doctor said, well, why don't you just go get one of those exercise videos like a Jane Fonda video and watch that and just watch your calories. And I came back and said, I'm not losing weight. And he said, well, did you get a Jane Fonda video? I said, yeah, I got Barbarella, but it's still, I still didn't lose any weight, but it was interesting. It's good sci-fi. So we need to get them to start changing their mindset, and between their kids, the extent, the money they're wasting and spending on stuff, and the money it's costing them with health problems, right? We want to establish the pain, right, and then give them hope. Once we've showed them the pain and what's not working, then say, but there's hope. And I have client after client, we have client after client after client after client who is using this strategy and getting the kind of results that you're going to want. And so let me explain to you what this is. So we go into first, all of our programs, and we have programs about weight loss and hormone balancing and this and that. They all come under the umbrella of our unique approach to healthy living. Okay. Weight management is just one part of our unique approach to healthy living. And we call this the 5 Pillars Program for Healthy Living. I'm just going to give you a quick snapshot of that so that you understand our approach is multi-dimensional. Then we get into what is the code to healthy weight management? What does that mean? What is that about? And we show them the code, right? How that works. Then we move into the features and benefits of how it works. We differentiate again from what they're doing now. We throw in some case studies and testimonials. That's important. And then we do some question and answer. Now, for the live interview, we have an audience that can ask really good questions, and we'll do that, and we'll use that and be able to use that in later recordings and programs. Then finally, we give them the call to action, and that's okay. So now that you've seen this, we've told you at the beginning of the program, in the middle of the program, we are going to offer you the opportunity to experience a solution. And here it is. And then we go through the typical, here's the code, here's what it entails, here's what you get. You get this, you get the course, you get this very unique, comprehensive group of tests to determine what custom program you need. Then you get this, and then you get a recommendation for some supplements that you can get at a member price. And then you get the opportunity to join our community, our Facebook and LinkedIn community, to get regular monthly information, guidance, ask questions, get support. And then you have the opportunity to upgrade to private sessions with us to answer questions, guide you through the walls. You might have hit a wall. We can guide you through, take a look at what's going on. In some cases, it might require purchasing another test, right? To see from when they started the program to where they are right now, the test will show, it'll very quickly show you what they're doing and not doing, right? And the other component I wanted to just keep in here is the code, 5 pillars code journal. So that's another something they're going to get, because we want to stack everything they're getting, right? We want to stack all of these things. You're going to get access to this course. You're going to get 7 videos or 5 video, access to 7 or 5 videos. You're going to get worksheets for each video. You're going to get our 5 pillars code journal that's going to guide you to what to do every day and what not to do every day in order to experience success. And then we're going to be posting other clues and things inside the Facebook community. And then we make the offer, and here it is. Click on this, go to this address, 5pillars.com, and get that and sign up right now. If you sign up during the webinar, there's a discount. If you sign up, 5 days after, it's full price, et cetera, et cetera. We'll work out the details. So I know I'm giving you homework and you're not having time to do it, but these 2 things, what I asked last week and what I'm asking this week, are really crucial for us to progress to actually creating the program and the webinar. So I'm going to leave it at that and open it up for questions.
No,
I'll
we'll
send
get
you
it done. I've got that saved as a document.
So just to review where we need to fill in some gaps. The sheet that I sent last week, some of the gaps are, we want to have, the 2 of you have clarity and agreement on these packages.
Okay.
All right. So, go revisit my email from last week with this whiteboard from 526 and, have agreement on this unique combination of tests, workout, work out the strategies and the costs of those. And then kind of brainstorm here. What is the difference between the starter course, the basic silver package? I mean, the silver package, the gold package, and the platinum package. Just, give yourself some clarity on that, flesh that out. Then we have the package offer, and then we can continue to work with this. Let me stop share here. Work with this outline, or the beginning of the outline of the webinar. So whether that takes us, the next week or 2 weeks, I am going to be traveling next week, but I do have Thursday. I'm leaving Thursday available. If we can do the same time Thursday, I'll be in Florida. I can do it from where I'm staying. I'll just make sure I'm back where I am on Thursday. Hopefully by next week, we can at least finish fleshing out the packages and the webinar outline.
Okay.
And then, each week we can start hammering at filling that outline to have the content you need to talk intelligently. And we will start then creating the funnel. Once I have the content of the webinar, I can start creating the funnel of the webinar, similar to what you saw with Dr. Semery.
And the webinar is basically what we just talked about, right? It's really a teaser webinar that we're talking about, right?
Exactly. This is a
Okay.
teaser webinar that you can use as a teaser, right? As a marketing piece, or you can sell a ticket to it, a low price ticket to it. If your goal is you want to create as big an email list as possible, you can use a lead magnet that gets them some basic information, and then they can purchase a ticket to watch the webinar, and then from the webinar they can purchase a ticket into the program. And basically they're getting a membership into the program that they're going to get the ability to buying the tests. The tests will be sent out to them. They can watch the videos. They can get the downloads. They can get all of that stuff from the course program. But the webinar is an introductory teaser, a lead magnet that you can choose to have them pay for, or you can choose to use this. Maybe just make it a 1 hour webinar and use it as a promotional tool that we have people go watch, and then we extract clips of it to use in social media and to use on the funnel to get people educated about the program. Does that make sense?
It does. So perhaps something like a free, do these 3 things, 3 best tips for, I don't know, starting fat loss or whatever is your lead magnet. You get their email address and information. Then you offer them in that lead, you offer them a small price on the webinar. And then the webinar leads to the testing in the course.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's exactly it.
I like that process, because what I found when you do free webinars is you go to a bunch of people who, you get their email address, but they're not invested.
No.
They don't, if they haven't, it could be $27. It's the difference between free and $27 even. It makes a huge difference in whether these are people who are high quality leads. So I personally prefer a small price webinar ticket and a free lead magnet. We can just throw some, it's easy to throw a lead magnet together.
Yep.
As far as a free offering, right? Or something.
Yeah,
I agree with
and-
that.
Yep. And, the lead magnet is the freebie. And it'll be strategically constructed to really get them to see the difference. And just maybe three tips of what not to do to dilute, for weight loss.
Mhm.
Right. So you're not telling them yet what to do. You're telling them what not to do.
Right.
And that gets their attention. And then we get them into the funnel for signing up for the webinar. Then the webinar starts educating them. They see the value of the important tests, the assessment tests, and the instruction of how to have a comprehensive lifelong approach that is systemic and not, a Band-Aid, and is not, your typical beaten to death weight loss strategy that does not work permanently.
Okay, so we
Cool.
have to figure out our testing and our packages. What else do we need to have before we meet next time?
Flesh out this webinar outline I just did and start fleshing out the content. In
Okay,
other words, you could say, oh yeah, remember when we did the last webinar, we had this, and we had that, we had this report, we had that statement about metabolism or about hormone balance or whatever. Start, putting together your file of what you would be putting into this. And then next time we meet, then we can create a more focused outline. Okay, here's an hour. What are we going to spend our time with? 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, a little bit of call to action, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, a little bit of call to action, and then the final push. And then some staged. When I say staged, I mean real question and answers, but they're from people that we've vetted, that are not going to go off the deep end, or they're going to have a real honest question, but it's a real question. It's something everybody can relate to, and not, something crazy,
Okay, for next time, can we move it up a half hour and do 3 to 4? Does that work for both of you instead of 3:30 to 4:30?
If it's yeah, so Thursday,
The
the
8th?
8th, yes, I can do 3:00, no problem.
Is that good for you, Christina?
yeah, it should be fine.
Okay.
I know my parents will be visiting me, so I'll have to keep it to an hour, but I still think
Yeah.
making progress is important, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
absolutely.
Okay,
So just from 3 to 4 would be, that's fine.
good. Okay. Well, we're in the time frame of what we had planned for 3:30 to 4:30. It's 4:30. Or 4:37. Any questions from what we've done? Any comments?
No,
Good. Okay. All right.
No,
I'll
I'm
send
good, yep.
I'll send these notes to you with the link for next Thursday at 3. And we'll go from there. I hope you guys have a chance to chat a little bit and see what you can do.
we
Sounds
will.
good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you
Thanks.
feel the sense of momentum now? And we're
Oh,
starting
yeah.
putting muscle and veins, on the skeleton. We're not quite ready for skin and clothes, but we're starting to get, veins and muscles and nerves. So, all right.
Yes, thanks,
Okay.
Mike, so much.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend, and we will see
You
you
as
next week.
well.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.